Hi, it's Rosie from RoseByNameCo. I've come back today to show you how I make pockets for a journal on a page from fabric. It looks so beautiful with a little bit of fringes here and a little touch of gold and a ribbon that will stick out on the side of the journal. And just you know, how I get the fabric and put this together. It's really very simple. So it's just this very short tutorial about how to make this a pocket side. This is another one I made too, so that each one will go on the side. Now you could put it this way and then tuck something in here, or you could also put it this way so that when it comes up on the other side of the book, I like to match, or at least that that it has the same ribbon on each side of the journal. And then of course I tuck in some different colors on different pages. So this one would go on the one page, and then you know, it's used as a tuck spot to put in a journaling card or a tag. And I will show you this as well, how I made these tags with these beautiful little added on details on a journal tag. So for this to happen, you don't need a lot. You really just need your glue, your scissors, and a ruler. You don't really need a ruler, but just to measure what the page is, the size of the page, and then the size of your side tab here. So this would be about 19.5, which is about 8 inches, and this turns out to be the same size. So I did measure the page first, and then I measured my fabric that I cut out to the same size. So this one is 19.5 centimeters. I must have bought this ruler in Europe because it only has centimeters on it. So 19 centimeters would be about 7.5 inches. And as far as the width, you don't need much more. Here it says 4 centimeters. That would be about 1.5 inches. So you don't need more than 1.5 or 2 inches. It doesn't need to go very far across unless you want that look. That look is okay too if you want something larger. But you just want to think about seeing a little bit of what you're going to tuck into it. So you want a little bit of room here to show what's inside of this pocket. So let me now show you from the pieces that are not cut yet. And so as far as what I need for this, what I have is really just a leftover bag that I had, a grocery brown paper bag, and I just cut out the edges that fold in. It has little indents here. It really doesn't matter at all because once you glue it on, it becomes more firm. And so I cut out 2 of these from a paper bag that I will use on the other side to glue the fabric onto. And the ribbon that I will use for this. So I will need 2 pieces for this one. I will tear it here, but first I will just go like this and cut what I need here. Okay, and then I will just tear it into 2, so I have 2 pieces, 1 for each of the sides. And then I've cut up the same material that I have, this beautiful flowers. It's a little bit, I don't know if it's damask or I'm not good at fabric. I really need to study fabric a little bit more as far as what type of fabric it is. So I cut out 2 pieces of this. Let me see, they're a little bit bigger. So what I will do is, because I glued on the fabric first, I will glue it on and then trim around this, because I cut this into a little bit better shape than I cut the fabric. Is a little bit uneven. But I will show you first that these little pieces, then this little piece just comes from a little bit of fabric, a little bit of gold fabric that I have, just for contrast on here, just for something different. So I will cut these into little pieces and then fold them in half. So I really don't need much at all. So this would be enough for one. and a little bit cut in half for this one. And so I don't need this whole thing that I had, and this will be good enough for another piece. So of course I'm not throwing this out. This is going into my little scrap box. Okay, so I have my little scrap box, the red one here, and I will put this piece into it, and of course it will be used at some point. So I have these two pieces, and then over here for these fringes is really just thread that I've glued on and then sewn over. So just any thread that I have that I've pulled off of here, the fabric, or I've sewn with and cut up. I don't throw out the thread because I'm using it nonstop. You can always make something out of it, either in a little bunch somewhere, just for texture. I love it. That's just my thing. And or you can use it as fringes that come off, like in this case over here. Sorry, over here. So let's glue this on. Okay, I'll just put that aside. Use my glue here. I'm trying to stay in frame because often I'm not in frame. I'm really still learning about this business of tutorials and so on, but I am having fun with it, so I'm trying. Okay, I'm just going to put it right on and then trim around it. So I'm just going to make sure that it's on good. But, you know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be too careful about the glue because we're also going to be sewing around it as well. So I also want to glue this down, the other flap, so that it just gives a little bit of extra strength to it. Okay, there we go. Just so the fabric isn't too floppy. I mean, we use fabric or ribbon on its own as well, and that's okay too. But I just want, in this case, for this to be a little bit firmer. So you can see already that this is becoming much more firm than this piece here that doesn't have a backing yet. So I'm going to hope that I have good scissors, because good scissors are hard to come by. I don't know if anyone has a recommendation of good scissors that are sharp and straight and so on. If you could let me know in a comment below, maybe. Because I'm always out of good scissors. Whatever scissors I pick up, sometimes they just give me a problem. So just the best you can cut around it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you can see over here little pieces. That's okay. Again, we're not aiming for perfection here. So this is good. So this is one piece that we now have, and now we'll glue the other one. I left the glue on its side, so hopefully it will come out a little sooner, which it did. Okay. And oh yeah, I should have a little dish here for the glue to keep up on the side. Okay, so we just want to cover the whole thing. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not. We're just going to cut around it and it will look straight afterwards. So I'm going to glue this flap down as well. Okay, just for that extra sturdiness. So now it looks much better. So now this is once it's cut up, and this one is still in its original form. So we're just making sure that it's glued down, and we will cut around this. Okay, so we cut this up. So we have two of these flaps, and what I'm going to glue on next is little piece of this. So I'm just going to look for something that is going to come off in this way. So sometimes you have to arrange it a little bit and take out some pieces that maybe you don't need, or trim a little bit if you need to. Okay, so this one here, looks pretty good, and I will glue this down over here, and then I will still trim it a little bit. So I will try to aim for the middle. I'm, you know, measuring really. I just eyeball everything. So about 19. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm about right. So I'm just going to put this right here. Put some glue. Put this on top, and then stick these little ones. I'm going to glue it a little bit also in the middle. And just make it a little bit, you know, so the corners stick out. I like to do that so they're not quite even. And then it will go on top here. They're a little bit bigger, I think, than these ones, but that's fine too. Okay. So we're just going to keep that down a little bit so it sticks. And of course, we're going to sew over it. And once it's sewn, then you can also trim, or you can trim right away. I'm just going to trim this little bit longer one, and then I will see later if I want to trim some more. But this is basically what we want for this section. And then let's find a little bit more on this. So I'm just going to pull out what I can from this. There we go. And then pull out some extra bits that we don't need, or there we go, like this. So just going to trim a little bit long there. And this is pretty good already. So let's just go. Now, as far as, you know, where you put the arrangement of the flowers, I put this one on the bottom, so I'm going to put this one on the top. It really doesn't matter as far as which way the flower goes. It's not directional, or even if it is, I'm going to turn it whichever way I feel that I should have it. So really, if I have this down, I want that same color to be up on the next one. Now, this one will be on, okay, on this page. So for this one, we want it turned the other way. So we don't want the same as this. We want it on the opposite side. So I almost put it on the wrong side, but okay, I caught myself. I don't need it there. I will be putting this one over here. So that's on the opposite side. And then put some of this over here. And just let it, okay, a little bit over here as well. So I'm just using craft glue. This one is just the tacky glue. Okay, so I have these, and now I will add the ribbons. Just clean up a little bit. So the ribbons will go on this side, and I will tack it down with the glue, and I will let it dry just a little bit, not much. I really sew right away onto whatever it is I'm doing. I just wait a little bit. Now, as far as how much you want to let it stick out, that's up to you. But I am watching here a little bit to just go above these little ends here, so that we have a good amount here to sew on, and a good amount will also be seen in the book. Now you can still you know, straighten it out a little bit while you're sewing, but this is just a little bit to tack it on so that it's not falling off completely when you're sewing it. So let this one dry a little bit, and we'll do this one. So we let that one dry, and we'll do this one. So of course it has to go on the opposite side of this one. So let's just put a little bit of glue, not too much, you know, because you will be running this through the sewing machine, but I like it down so that it's a little bit easier on the sewing. Okay. Okay, so we'll let this dry just a little bit. It's very sticky right now, and then we'll go to the sewing machine and finish this off. It won't be much longer, just a little bit around the edges, and then it's ready to be glued down to a page like these. Oh, and so of course, am I going to throw these out? No, because I can still make them into little bows, or any kind of leftover I might put on a page or a tag somewhere for a little bit of interest, like this, or a little bit longer even, right across the whole page. That looks beautiful. I love it. And a little bit of like a tab on the top. So you can cut these and use them and glue them still any way that you can. So as much as I can, I do save my bits. Now, including the ribbon, I have a good piece of it here, so I'll be chopping this up many times still. You know the drill, right? Into the box. Okay, so we're going to sew the pocket sides that we are doing for a journal page, and I'm just going to go zigzag right around. It's not difficult at all. Very, very simple. And I'm using I have blue thread already on here, and it's going to match okay. And I'm not really very particular about thread. I use whatever's in the machine. I do change it, but I'm not very particular that I must have this or that for a particular color. I mean, I could use this brownish color. I could use a little bit of yellow here, or blue. So I happen to have blue, so I'm going to go ahead with it. I don't have it on very fast, and I don't like to, because then sometimes it goes wonky. So we're just going to enjoy the sound of the machine for a few minutes. So on this side, we're going to try and get this in. I'm going to have to stop a little bit to get this down. I don't like it bunched up, so I'm just going to make sure that the thread goes right through it, and that this is caught in it as well. You want that a little bit down. Okay, we're almost done on this side. Okay, that's it for this one. So here we go. This one is all sewn up. It has a little bit of the thread here. I'm going to just open it a little bit more once I put it on the page and so it's a little bit more, it takes up a little bit more space. And on the other side, as you can see, we just sewn right around. Now you could have this on a page and sew it right on the page as well. You can then you can glue this piece onto the page a little bit so it stays put, and then sew right around it. Now, it depends if you want sewing on the back or not. That's up to you. Or you can then, once you've sewn around it, then you can also just glue it down as well, and then you have a clean page on the back. So because I already have some images on the back that I'll be using in a journal, I will glue it down and then see what I will do with the next page, if I will sew anything or not. So this one is done. I think I hear screaming from outside. I'm just looking through my window, and I see my grandsons are sliding down the hill on the side of the house. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. I'm going to start at this edge. Okay, now the ribbon has slipped off a little bit, so I'm just going to align it back up, making sure I don't get my fingers caught in there. Okay, and then now we'll hope it doesn't get stuck again. Okay, and this way. Now I just usually straighten this out so it doesn't get caught up, and so the thread can go right through the center of that over here. And we're done. Okay, so we're finished with this now, and we have all the stitching done. And so we have 2 of these. So what we're going to do is glue one on this side and then one on this side. And we have a fabric pocket out of this beautiful fabric here with the roses on it. And once, you know, that's glued down, we can put our card back in here or the other side, either way. And then just make sure that this is out, and just for a little bit of extra detail, put on the card here as well. And so this is it. This is the end of this one. And so now I have 4 of these to use, or rather 2 pairs to use in my journal somewhere along the way. So thanks for coming by to see this quick tutorial of a journal pocket. For the next one, I think I will show you how to make this a beautiful journaling card with a little bit of extra detail on top. So thanks for coming by again. Have a good day. It's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Take care. Bye-bye.